This video today is focusing on a new math concept, and by the end of the lesson you guys will know how to multiply fractions by whole numbers. And I'm going to focus on 3 different strategies that you can use when you're multiplying fractions by whole numbers, and 3 different ways we can think about it. So my first way is multiplication as repeated addition. So this has to do with our previous lesson with unit fractions. When we added up unit fractions, but in this case we're saying I know that I have 3 groups of 2/3. That's basically what this is saying. So that means that I have 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3, because I have 3 sets here of 2/3. In that case, I just add them up, and I can do 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 2 is 6, and my answer would be 6/3. I know I can actually reduce this because 6 divided by 3 is 2. So I can say this is actually equal to 2, and that's my first way. My second way is to use a visual model, and I want you guys to pay close attention to this because with your worksheet you guys are going to be using visual models. So in this case, I have my 3 groups because these are my 3 wholes, right? And if I'm representing 2/3, I know that this is going to be colored in, and this is going to be colored in. That's 2/3. This is 2/3, and this is 2/3. These are my 3 groups of 2/3. I can see that in this model, I want to know how many thirds I have total. If I count them up, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 thirds. Notice I get the same answer as above, and I can reduce that to 2. And that is my second way that I can find how I can multiply fractions. My third way is multiplication of my numerator. So this is a really simple way. This is how I learned how to multiply fractions, and probably your parents did too. So they can help you with this one if you're confused. All I do is multiply my whole number by my numerator. This means for this example, I would multiply 3, which is my whole number, and 2, which is my numerator. So 3 times 2 equals 6, and then all I do is put it over my denominator. 6 divided by 3, and then I reduce that to 2. So you can see I did the same example for all 3 ways, but it shows you that you can use addition, I can use a visual model, and I can also use multiplication of my numerator, all right? For your practice, you guys are gonna get a worksheet on Google Docs, and it looks like this, okay? It sets up the visual models for you. If you can print it, that's awesome. If you can't print it, no worries at all. I'm going to show you guys a quick example of what I am looking for when you guys are doing it at home. Let me just erase my board. I would like you guys to focus on the visual model, especially with this worksheet, and then whatever other strategy works best for you. I'm going to model number 2 for you guys. It's up here at the top, okay? So for number 2, I have 1/5 times 4. If I'm using my visual models, I know I have 4 groupings of fifths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry. All right. And in each of those, I know I have 1/5 colored in. I just have 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. So I know that 1/5 times 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4 fifths. I want you to show me this strategy, and then I want you to show me one other strategy. The other strategy I'm going to choose to use is multiplying my numerator, so I know that 1 times 4 equals 4, and I know I put it over my denominator. All right. If you wanted to do the repeated addition, I have 4 groups of 1/5, so I would say 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5 equals 4/5. So on your homework, you're showing me the visual model, and you're also showing me either the repeated addition or multiplying your numerator.